When I was first doing artwork, my mom was folding over notebook paper and making booklets. That's sort of what I'm coming back to now, is thinking about illustration, like stories, like what sort of narratives can I bring to it. That's why I like the samurai, because even in a very subtle way there's a narrative to the images, especially the guy back over this way that has an arrow in his arm.
Okay.
I like that, it's a moment in a battle.
Right.
But I'm thinking even more narrative, and really ultimately I would love to do some graphic novel type work, and some of this just doing more pen and ink drawing and working on backgrounds. My goal is to sort of get my chops up for that sort of drawing, even though I spent years drawing only with pen and pencil before going to college, pretty much. Once I started exhibiting artwork, has always been painting. There was a show called the Monster Show like 2 years ago, and I drew a pen and ink version of a squid and whale fighting, and I think that was the first ever. It was the first ever actual drawing that I exhibited. So.
Were you happy with the way it came out?
Yeah, I liked it, and it's strange that it's strange that it was the first drawing that I exhibited, because I feel that I have more control with a pen on paper than anything else, really, because you can just really get in and make the form the way that you want it. And starting with pencil, then coming in with the pen and refining it. Also, with painting, it often is just like shifting things around back and forth until it's right. But I've never really liked. I'm just part of me just avoids work behind glass too, because it's hard to store and it's kind of dangerous. And I like all the color in painting, but I think that telling some stories and drawing some sequential artwork is sort of my goal for the not so distant future.
Right on.
In whatever form that takes.
I've got a friend who makes books, but each page is an individual block print.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, that's great.
He had at the end he has 30 limited edition books where each of they're all original.
And is it narrative? Is it in
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
I haven't actually seen these up close yet.
Yeah, that hand printed books is great, especially if people are making books too. Like I've tried it a couple of times when I worked at the art supply store, but I've seen a lot of really good, where people hand stitch the binding and then print into them. That's pretty cool. The kind of first project that I'm working on for fun to warm me up is, as I walk around, there's free boxes everywhere.
Yeah.
And for a while, my rule was that if there was a book, I had to pick it up. If there were more than one book, I had to at least take one with me. And then when I would get home, and randomly tear out a couple of pages, and then scan for lines I liked and just cut lines out and save them for Dada style cutouts.
Okay.
And so I have a blank journal that has all of those scripts in it, and it's been a while that I've been collecting strips. I need to start again just to keep adding to the well that I'm pulling from, but I randomly pull them out, and I just put a piece of tape down on the table, and my sort of arbitrary rules that I set up is that I have to stick it down on the page with the tape, and the next one can go anywhere above or below, but once it's filled up, then I'm done.
Awesome.
So I'm trying, I can look and try and build the best possible sentences, but if stuff doesn't work, it just doesn't work. Ultimately, though, I came up with a fairly interesting story, and what I like is that it's like reading William S. Burroughs. It doesn't make any sense, even though it sounds like sentences that make sense. And then as I read it, I made notes about what it made me think of. And there was some stuff from a Robotech book, and some stuff from a Hobbit book, and some self-help books, and one book on human sexuality, and some a kid's like Black Beauty type book, and then another book about kids book about dragons, and then just some other random novels, and even some instructional stuff. So the imagery that I came up with is like dragons and robots and an interaction between two people that seems like it could be romantic, but also like they're getting ready to fight the dragons in their robots. So my idea is to just create a surreal graphic novel.
Nice.
Once again, finding ways to just get past the deciding what's my story going to be, and just finding a way to work without overthinking it.
Right.
Because I can I mean, I really like being cerebral and thinking about stuff a lot. That's my nature. But finding ways to narrow my focus and just make product and be in the process without thinking too much without having to plan out the end result ahead of time. I just try to plan out what my process is going to be, and then just stick with the process until I get something that I'm happy with.
Right on.
So there it is, I guess.
In a nutshell.
Yeah, in a nutshell. In a nutshell.
So I don't know if I've told you about this, but I hold a gallery at my house once a month. And the third one's coming up on March 27th.
Okay.
Which you're more than welcome to come check out. But all of the artists that are showing, I interviewed last month.
Okay.
So all of the artists that I'm interviewing this month are going to be invited to come out to my house, set up art on the walls, and show next month, which will be April 24th.
Okay.
There's going to be live music, and I supply free booze and food for everybody, and we paint on the walls, and it's a really good time.
Right on. Yeah.
So yeah, I would love it if you were able to come out and show.
Okay.
And then the second part of that is I ask all of the artists if there's something small that they wouldn't mind donating. It's not a requirement or anything for to be a part of it. The only requirement is the video.
Okay.
But peace. but I do a raffle.
Okay.
So all of the donated pieces that I collect, I sell raffle tickets for a donation of $5 or more, and give it all away at the end of the night.
Cool. I know that I have at my house right now a couple of the we were talking about prints, woodblock print. Well, they're not really woodblock prints. They're woodcut prints on wood.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that I have some. They're a wolf chasing a crow, chasing a wolf. That are left over from a few pieces left over from the big 500.
Nice.
I definitely could bring one of those.
That'd be really rad, man. Cool. Do you have any last comments, questions, concerns? We should check, actually.
Yeah, do that.
Go down the line here. Do you have favorites out of these?
Yeah, I think this guy's my favorite.
Man, these are so neat.
These guys, this is the guy I was talking about who has the arrow in his arm, and he's just kind of checking it out like it's no big deal. And this piece and this piece happen to be ink and watercolor on paper that I attach to the background, whereas the other two are all acrylic paint and stenciling.
Rad.
Yeah.
I really like these little ones. I like these a lot.
Yeah, those are the original studies that I did looking at the print series, and once I got these kind of worked out, then I would photograph them and turn them into the bigger pieces.
Right on. Well, I don't really have anything else.
That's what I have.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We love you. We'll catch you probably tomorrow.